Hi, thank you all so much for coming down. Given what happened at the previous meeting, it is very nice to see so many people here. Basically, what I'd like to do is summarise the main roles of the Vice President, say what relevant experience I have and what innovations I'd like to make if I'm elected. So, as far as most of you lot will be concerned, the main thing that the Vice President does is order stash. I've got some experience ordering stash from my second year when I was president of the university's German Society. And as far as what stash people would like, I'm happy to get in touch with companies and see what they're willing to offer. Anything you guys want, from slippers to hats or whatever. But bearing in mind that next year is the 125th anniversary of the Society, I would like to get some more unusual items. Personally, I'd quite like to get more books available through Stash. There are a couple of editions of the Society's history, which would obviously be very appropriate. And I've also written a history of the boat club, which I'd like to get some money from. And also, I know one thing that quite a few people have said we don't really offer enough of is ladies' jewellery. We've got a very good selection of formal wear for men, but nothing really comparable for women. So I'd like to look into getting some more of that. The next thing that the Vice President does is write the Freshers' Handbook. I don't really have any hugely relevant experience for that other than writing several long pieces of work to tight deadlines, which has taught me that the earlier you start, the easier that is. So as soon as the new exec are elected, I would like to get all of their details, get them written so that that section's written. The same for all of the sports and societies captains, make sure we know all their details so that there's not a last-minute panic at the end of July when no one's left and we don't know what we're doing. Third thing the Vice President does is, rather boringly, the minutes and the agendas for all of the meetings, so exec meetings, JCR meetings, all of the committee meetings. When it comes to agendas, I've got quite a lot of experience. I currently write the agenda for the Intercollegiate MCR President's Committee, and I also write the agenda for the boat club exec meetings, and I take their minutes, so I know what I'm doing with that. I would like to try and get the agendas sent out at least a day before the meeting, so everyone's actually had a chance to read them before they turn up, everyone knows what we're going to be talking about. Same with the minutes, get them sent out the day after the meeting so that everything's still fresh in people's minds. Similarly, a lot of meetings I've been at, we've agreed to something and then nothing's actually happened as soon as we've left the meeting. So I'd like to introduce action points to the minutes so that it says, this is what we want to do, it's so-and-so's job and they need to have done it by this time, so that it increases the clarity for everyone and increases accountability so that we know who should have done what. Last thing the Vice President does is send around weekly newsletters. Again, I've got quite a lot of experience of this. I currently send around a weekly newsletter for the postgrads, and I also send around a monthly newsletter to all of the Boat Club alumni. The main innovation I'd like to make with the newsletters was quite fortunately mentioned in the Sports and Societies husks of introducing a section dedicated to sports and societies, so that if your team's got a big fixture coming up or your society has a big event, we can publicise it there. It means more people turn up, you feel better about taking part in it, you get more support, and it just makes it look a lot better. And the final thing I would like to do with the newsletters is, I know very few people actually bother to read their emails. You get hundreds a day and you're obviously going to delete quite a few of them without reading. So I'd like to print out copies of the newsletter and stick them up in both bars and both JCRs just to make sure more people get a chance to read it. That's everything I wanted to say. Thank you very much for listening and thank you for coming.
I love you, mate. Please don't hurt me. Name one thing that you think is good about me that you'd like to keep on your potential role as vice president. And then one bad thing about me that you wouldn't like to dismiss.
Bad thing about you can't talk about incumbent members in your host or in your campaign.
Oh really? I actually didn't know that. In case
there's a fact for you, Rob King.
I didn't know either.
I don't deal with facts. I deal in.
Do you want to rephrase your question?
What is good about the?
In the past, how do you think the VP position has been done well and not
Yeah,
well?
good.
With no reference to names.
I'm actually quite glad that question got asked because it just reminded me of something I forgot to say, which I think the best thing that has happened over recent years is getting the stash order for Freshers Week done over the holidays so that for all of the freshers, the stash is here when you arrive. I'd like to build on that and copy that idea by not only doing it over the summer holidays, but also Christmas might be difficult, but ideally over Christmas and over Easter, so that you guys order the stash at the end of term and it's here when you get back, rather than ordering it and then waiting 4 or 5 weeks and feeling like it's never coming. As for stuff which hasn't been done as well, I'd really rather not comment on that because there might be things which I think haven't been done well, but when I get into the job I discover they're hideously impossible and no one can actually do them. So I'm not going to criticise.
If you like to,
Very diplomatic.
Are there any other questions? No? No?
oh.
Surgical question.
Part of your role is supporting the president. Can you support my weight?
Should be minuted as just. Okay, any final questions or not? No. Okay, thank you very much, Michael.